Shalom.
Shalom.
Ani Andy.
Ani Stephanie.
That means I am. Except there's no to be in Hebrew.
Right.
So I Andy.
I Stephanie, or Shmi. My name is. My name is Stephanie.
Yes. Welcome to Jew and Jewer, episode 3. We are here to Shalosh 3. This is the extent of my Hebrew. It's not like I'm condescending to you. This is just what I know. So we're going to talk about kosher food today. There are a number of levels of kosher. When someone says, I keep kosher, what does that mean? Or I don't keep kosher. I don't keep kosher is the easy part. It means you eat everything. Like me. Pork, shellfish, bacon cheeseburger.
The whole
everything.
shebang.
So that's level 0. Then there's people who do no pork, or usually no pork and no shellfish.
Right.
I don't think, they don't say they keep kosher, they say I don't eat pork.
Right.
Then the next step up is like kosher style.
Like they don't mix meat and milk, but they'll have non-kosher chicken or non-kosher meat.
They'll have non-kosher anything. No pork, no shellfish, no meat and milk. Is there anything else kosher style? I guess that's about it. That's probably about it. And then maybe another step above is like a kosher style apartment.
Where you have 2 dishes, meat and milk, and then tray plates. Right? Have you heard of that?
Yes.
People that have like a 3rd set of dishes for non-kosher stuff, so they bring in Chinese food to their house, but they eat it on the tray plates, so it's okay.
But those people, I guess for the most part, out of their house, no pork, no shellfish, no meat and milk, but they don't necessarily need a kosher restaurant, dairy or meat. I mean, they're eating Chinese food in their place, so
yes.
they'll go to Chinese food.
So, okay.
And then the next step is like fully kosher apartment, non-kosher dairy out, but not non-kosher meat.
And fish is debatable.
Fish is debatable.
Some people eat the fish, some people don't eat the fish.
Fish
but
is
it's
kind
hot
of a
dairy.
middle ground.
Hot dairy they'll eat.
Okay.
Pizza.
And then you're basically to full-on kosher.
Everything has to be hechshered.
Everything hechshered. Separate dishes, separate dishwasher.
In and out of the home.
Yes. And then maybe super duper kosher, like glatt kosher.
Glatt kosher.
Which is like the Orthodox, like don't trust other people's kosher, I guess? I don't know. Do you know glatt kosher?
I don't know, but the guy on the plane next to me over here, it was like, I got a special meal. And I was thinking maybe he's a vegetarian, maybe he's like lactose intolerant, I don't know. No, glatt, because El kosher wasn't good enough. He needed a separate kosher meal on a kosher airline. Whatever you want, right?
I didn't realize they did that.
Yeah.
You can request the kosher meal
on
El Al.
Isn't that fantastic? Oh, Jewish people, what are you thinking?
Okay, so which of these do we understand? Which makes sense? Which have going on?
We understand the, as you put it, level 0.
Eat everything.
I eat everything. I guess I understand the glatt. Like, if you're going to stick to your Orthodox cohort, you want to have them approve everything, that's just it. But, you know, I think that there are a lot of hechshers that are approved by the Orthodox Union, but they're not the OU. I need to do some more research on this. I don't know. But I understand the 2 dishes and eating fish and dairy out, because that's what I do at my house. I have 2 dishes, I have 2 sets of plates and silverware.
Well, here's what I don't understand about the 2-plate thing.
Okay.
So we're imagining Hashem comes down from the cloud and says, don't boil the kid in its mother's milk.
Right.
Which was the original thing that we derived a lot of this no meat and milk from. And, you know, there's some speculation that it's this idea about sensitivity and compassion and like literally milking a cow and then killing its child and cooking it in the milk.
No good.
It's a little...
It's gross.
Yeah, okay. Like, if I knew that was happening and serving me, I'd still eat it. But No, I probably wouldn't feel bad at it. But I might understand why other people would feel bad about that or would think that's a bad thing to do. But this idea that there's microscopic particles of cheese that linger forever in a plate.
Okay.
And then you can't have meat touch the plate because the microscopic particles will intermingle. I don't get that from Boil a Kid in Its Mother's Milk.
It's rabbinics. It's all interpretation. It's all what I don't consider the law of God because it's not from the Torah, but it's rabbinics and it's people that we put our trust into because they know more than we do because they're on a different level, and so we go with them and say, this is what they said, this is what I'm going to do. And it's also, I think, a lot of it tradition and that's the culture, and how do you trust someone that you know they have two dishes? I've also heard debate about glass being parv. You can run it through the dishwasher and it's parv again, I don't know, but yeah.
Well, it's like the chopping board, like you can never get the meat out.
Like
but
a
like
wood chopping board.
Yeah, but the plastic, like if you scrub it a lot, you can kind of re-parve it, I think.
Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
I have the plastic kind, like with the green, and it's like for vegetables, you know what I'm talking about, and the red is meat. Very convenient.
Probably when I move out of the Kfar, the village, where we are right now, to begin studying Torah at Pardes, I was talking to live with someone who's not strictly kosher herself, but we wanted to maintain a kosher apartment so we could entertain. And we'll get into, that's one reason I understand why people keep kosher. They don't necessarily buy into all of this, but they have friends who get a little extreme, and they say, I want to have my friends over for dinner. And they say, the cost of that is I have to maintain a kosher apartment. Anyway, I said I don't know the rules, I'll do my best to learn. Let's just get a place with a big backyard, we'll be burying a lot of dishes.
Sounds good to me. So what do we think about the people that just don't eat pork and shellfish?
Here's the way I see that. It's not that they think that God came down and said no pork and shellfish, and he said a bunch of other things that just weren't so important. It's like, that's not a reasonable interpretation. Yeah, you kind of have to go all or nothing. Like, there's a whole book about this.
Well, what about, like, The Big Lebowski? I think they, like, reference not eating pork or not eating shellfish or something like that. One of the movies, like, it's like the traditional Jewish thing. Jews don't eat pork. It's in Sex and the City. It's
yeah,
everywhere.
It crops up
like,
a lot of places.
Jews don't eat pork. So what does that mean? We have a lot of laws about kashrut, but the other ones get thrown aside because pig is so popular in America and everyone eats ham, everyone eats bacon, except for the Jews. Is it like a self-identifying thing that, like the women wearing kippot might see episode 2, if you don't know what we're talking about, might identify as a Jew because they're wearing a kippah. So I'm not going to eat pork because I'm Jewish. I'm not going to sit there and eat something that I don't think is, in my opinion, something that shouldn't go into my body because I'm Jewish and because it reminds me that I'm Jewish.
Well, yeah, I think culturally a lot of Jewish people grow up not conceiving of pork as food. The same way I don't eat cat and dog and horse and giraffe. They're just not food to me. Like, they're animals.
Right.
They're not food. And I think a lot of people grow up with the mindset that pork isn't food. And if that's the only reason, they just don't think of it as food. It seems like they could.
But are you ever going to think of cat as food?
I think if I moved to a country where they ate cat every meal, and every time I sat down on the menu it was like chicken, pork, beef, cat,
right,
I'd eventually get around to ordering it.
Well, you're very adventurous, I think.
You think people just can't grow out of their conception of cat fluffy as dinner? I think if we got hungry enough.
Well, yeah, if we were on Survivor maybe, but luckily we're not in that situation. No, pig is as it not being food. Look, I had bacon growing up. This is not new to me. Oh, we're running out of time.
Basically out of time.
Well, anyway, I had pork growing up. I ate bacon. Now I don't. I don't view it as food.
Is it because you do that as an activity that makes you feel Jewish? Jews don't eat pork.
Right.
It's one of the definition of Jews.
It's not a definition. I don't like the definition.
For some
thing.
people.
For me, I don't eat it because it's in the Torah. I do a lot of things that break what's in the Torah, but like that's something that I feel like I can do. We'll see you next time, episode 4. We hope you've enjoyed it. See you later.
Bye.